Hi everybody, it's Jenn from McCreath. Today's March 29th, 2023, and I've got some exciting news. I can't even remember if I've done a video about this or not. I guess I'm getting old. Anyway, important stuff here. International frontrunners. It's something I've been a part of for a long time. Basically, it's a coalition of LGBTQ runners. Whether that's people who run marathons or jog around the block. The world seems to be going out of their way to discourage LGBTQ people from participating in sports. And that's wrong. When I grew up, I watched Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod on Body Break. They talked about the importance of physical fitness for everyone. So that's why I'm here. International Frontrunners. It's an organization that has chapters all over the world where LGBTQ people can get together and run or walk without fear of being judged or treated poorly or discriminated against, whatever. We have a chapter right here in St. John's, Newfoundland. It's officially the Newfoundland and Labrador chapter. And we've been a little bit dormant in recent years, but that's going to change. Anyway, there's a situation. Let's see if I can find it on it's a public newsletter. I didn't know if this was secret or not, but it's on the World Wide Web. You can Google this. Call for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Consultation Group. International Frontrunners has grown not only in number of clubs and geographic spread, but also in the diversity of each member club's membership base. However, we recognize that our current org structure is mostly volunteered by cis men. We need more diverse volunteers to be able to address challenges within our diverse communities. One of the coming challenges is addressing the potential World Athletics, formerly known as the IAAF's, decision on the inclusion of intersex and transgender women in sport of running following the World Aquatics, formerly FINA's decision to restrict participation of intersex and transgender women who've experienced androgenizing puberty past the age of 12. World Athletics' current policy that allows intersex and trans women who maintain less than 5 nmol/L testosterone over 12 months to be able to participate in women's events may change into lifetime ban for almost all intersex and transgender women. While the upcoming decision is primarily intended for elite athletes, these policies also influence policies of many organized running events for mass community participation, such as marathons in various cities that many of our members of the Frontrunner Club partake in. The issue of participation of intersex and transgender women have been framed as them stealing opportunities from cisgender women. Therefore, we need voices from our cisgender, transgender, and intersex women from diverse regions of frontrunners to formulate a well-considered response. So guess who said, put me on the team? Yes. We now have a working group of trans women, intersex women, cis women, from at least 15 different countries. And we're all going to get on the phone at the same time. Oh my God. The time zone chart for this is off the wall. We've got Australia, Asia, Europe, North America, Newfoundland and Labrador. So yeah, I've been watching, or I watched what FINA did, and I believe I commented on it, so I'm not going to go too deep into that, but the history of trans participation in elite level sports was first looked at on a serious level by the International Olympic Committee in 2003, 20 years ago. Several trans athletes approached the Olympics and said, there's a possibility we may make our national teams. We want to know what the policies are. We need a policy. We hear the noise out there about unfair advantages, so let's put something together. We'll look at the science, and they came up with this protocol called the Stockholm Consensus. It basically said, look, you must suitably transition, demasculinize to the point where you no longer have that competitive advantage. And there were rules about being post-op. And back then, a couple years later, I came along and took up running, and then I transitioned. So I was a guinea pig going through this procedure in 2008 and 9. I literally cut my nuts off. Well, the surgeon did that. And we started taking estrogen. And we watched the demasculinization of my body in many ways. Hormone levels, testosterone levels, fat cells, VO2 max. Anyway, I went from being a really good male runner to being one of the worst female runners in less than 2 years. Their standard was 2 years post-op. And again, back then I wanted to run in my local 5K races and my local marathons. And I said, well, here's a policy that the Olympics use. How about we use it right here at home? And he said, sure. And of course, some people had issues with the policy. It required legal recognition of sex change by government. Not all governments did that. Anyways, the policy evolved to the point where the inevitable happened. A trans person won an event. Won. And all of a sudden it went from participation and equality and fairness to unfair. The only reason this person won was supposedly because they had an unfair advantage. Really? 20 years of athletics, trans participation, 20 years of trans people being eligible for the Olympics. How many have made the Olympics? One. Hi, Laurel. How many medals? 0. So if we have a competitive advantage, we would be winning all the gold medals. So that hasn't happened. But someone came along in the United States at the amateur level, college I believe, and won a swimming event. One of several swimming events that this person participated in. And all of a sudden FINA is saying, okay, how can we eliminate trans people? Well, we'll come up with this arbitrary idea that if you haven't transitioned by the age of 12, you're disqualified. Nobody transitions before the age of 12. It's not recommended. In fact, the right-wingers out there would be, what's the word, irate at the idea of allowing people that young to transition. Heck, they don't even want people who are 16 and 18 transitioning. There's all these silly laws about no transition until you're 21 in the US. Now all of a sudden, if you want to be a swimmer, you got to transition before the age of 12, which means you got to know that you're trans, and you got to find a doctor willing to help you transition. So basically, FINA is saying, we want trans women out of our pools, and we'll create a policy that has poison pill loopholes. So here we are, international frontrunners. Not all of us are elite level runners. However, if the Olympics decides to do the same thing that FINA did, not just the Olympics, the World Athletics, whoever the hell they are, Then all of a sudden I go and want to run my local 5K. They're going to say, well, you've been kicked out of the Olympics, Jen, so we're going to have to kick you out of our local 5K. What next? Hockey? All this talk about pride jerseys in the warm-ups and how certain players don't want to wear it. It's all window dressing. I don't give a fuck about anyone wearing a pride jersey in warm-up. There's a problem because there are no out LGBTQ NHL hockey players that I'm aware of. 10% of our population is LGBT. That means 10% of that team should be LGBT unless LGBT people are not welcome or they're not allowed to be out. So I'll start paying attention when you actually let these people on your team. We saw it in the NFL. Michael Sam, top quality college all-star from the SEC conference, the top football conference allegedly in the United States. All of a sudden he comes out as gay, and all of a sudden he's no longer good enough to play in the NFL, even though he was a highly touted prospect. So yeah, World Athletics, international frontrunners, is watching you. We are paying attention. We are going to study this, and this will not be a slanted situation. I'm going to sit down with my cis LGB colleagues, and we're going to do something that, well, groups try to do, reach consensus. And we're going to do our own analysis because we are subject matter experts. We are the runners. And guess what? Some of us are scientists. Some of us are doctors. Some of us have training logs that literally show how our performance levels have changed through a transition. And believe me, World Athletics, if you're going to follow in the footsteps of FINA, we're going to have a lot to say. Newfoundland will have something to say. Canada, the United States, England, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, France, India, you name it. China, Japan, Australia, Antarctica. Well, maybe not Antarctica. Anybody live there? We're watching. I'm watching. And we will not sit idly by. The World Athletics is going to follow FINA. If you do, I'll take you to court. At least I will. Want to ban me from participating in an event, a marathon? Yeah, we'll have a human rights case here. So yeah, that's my news. We're going to be watching you. Better behave. I must say, I'm honored. We have frontrunners all over Canada. 2 provinces had people step forward for this working group. Pretty cool that one of them's from Newfoundland, Labrador, isn't it? The Trans Women Athletics Center of the Universe is right here in St. John's, Newfoundland. Shh, don't tell anyone. Have a good day, everyone.